You see our guest experts on the show all the time, so you know them pretty well, but we love sharing their stories with you so you can get to know them even better. So today, since we're celebrating love, we are sharing Chef Paul's story of how he proposed to his partner, Alex.
I proposed and I planned a whole surprise weekend in New York City. I had a whole trip planned with a bunch of different events, and then it would all lead up to proposing to him in Central Park, which is what I did. And actually, I guess that's the funny part, is that he could tell that I was really nervous, and I just kept like guiding him around Central Park, and he's like, what's going on? I'm hungry. Can we go?
It was ridiculous because we kept walking. It was February, right? It was February.
It was cold.
It was cold, and we're in the garden. But I forget the name of the garden. Shakespeare's garden. And everything's dead. And we just keep walking in this garden. And I'm like, this is hideous. What are we here for?
Where are we going? Lunch or something? I don't even know anymore. I don't care.
I was waiting for somebody to film it because I wanted to get it on film. And I was just like waiting. There weren't a lot of people walking that day, so I was like, no, probably not a good person to ask.
She has a dog.
Yeah, he looks really busy. So it took me that long to find people that I had the guts to ask, and then luckily the people who I did ask, it was like right before Alex basically stormed up. I found the people. I said, will you take a photo of us? And then when I gave them the camera, I said, I'm about to propose. Can you just film? And they're like, oh, and it all worked out. So
it did work out.
Yeah, so we got it on film, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
I just hope you know that me bringing you here, it was just to show you how much I love you, and you marry me.
And then we were engaged for 5 minutes, and he's like, "Okay, can we go eat something now?"
Starving, yes.
It might have taken you a while, but it was so worth it to get someone to video that and record it, because now you have it forever. So I love this story. Now you're going to make us a very special meal, and we're going to talk about why it's a special meal in just a minute. I love that Alex is joining you, but first, here's what you're going to need for this surf and turf. You need tiger shrimp, lamb loin chops, olive oil, lemon juice, honey, garlic, some sea salt, oregano, chili flakes, and black pepper. Okay, so Alex is here with you, Paul, and you two are going to tell us why this meal has a special place in your hearts.
Yeah, I thought, what better time to have a helper in the kitchen, even though he doesn't really cook ever, than, for this occasion, because this was pretty much the first meal that I ever cooked for you, right?
Yes, it was the beginning of the end of my abs, yes.
Yeah, that is true. He's an eater. But I remember talking to him about, well, what do you really like? What do you love? And he said seafood, and that was a big one for me because I am such a seafood eater. And I thought, okay, well, the first meal that a chef makes for somebody is kind of like the baited hook. And of course, I wanted to hook this prize tuna, and so I thought, I'll make surf and turf. I mean, he had told me that he loves lamb, so I thought instead of the traditional steak and lobster, I would make lamb loin chops and some butterflied tiger shrimp. So I thought, why not share that today?
I think that is amazing, and I love that Alex is the Tracy in this relationship. So he does the eating, which is a great role to play. Okay, let's get started.
I've got some beautiful thawed, deveined tiger shrimp with the shell on here, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to butterfly these. So you lay them down like so, and you just want to follow where the vein is taken out and just open it up. So not only does it look very fancy, very restaurant style, it also allows the marinade, which Alex is going to help me make, to penetrate the meat. And also, a lot of that flavor that comes from the shell then also penetrates the meat, which is also important. So while I'm doing this, why don't you start making the marinade? So this is going to go for our lamb and for our shrimp. So we've got some olive oil right in there, and a little bit of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Always love freshly squeezed. And some red chili flakes for a little bit of heat. And I might mention, you can totally adapt this marinade for your taste. If it's a little too acidic, bring down the lemon juice. If you don't like heat, don't add the chili flakes. Some honey. That will just balance out the acidity from the lemon juice. And an herb. So I like some oregano. We're using a little dried oregano today. If you're using fresh, just use about twice as much. A little bit of black pepper. and lots and lots of garlic. So we were talking about this earlier. We were kind of laughing about it. Again, if you're sensitive to garlic, don't add as much, but garlic breath has never really bothered us. So we have 4 cloves, minced, and then a good amount of salt. So maybe like 2 pinches, 3 pinches. And remember, this is all the seasoning that's gonna go on with the lamb and the shrimp. So right in there, and then just give that a whisk, and I'm gonna throw in our meat.
Nice skills there, Alex. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
You want to just take half of that and put it into the other bowl. So we're gonna marinate our meat separately. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So I'm gonna add our butterflied shrimp right on in there. And then I got shrimpy hands, so if you want to take the lamb now, just add it there. And give that a really good toss to coat. And now I like to do this about an hour ahead of time. You know, give that marinade a really good chance to penetrate the meat. Of course, today we're doing this quick, but still give it a really good toss. Oh, and another thing, you'll notice because of the high acidity of the lemon juice, after about an hour, the meat will look a little different. It'll almost start to cook on the outside. Same with the shrimp. Totally normal, totally fine. You know, you can still cook it just according to the recipe, but just look out for that. So now I have nice hands.
Thank you.
So I've got 2 pans here. 2 pans here that are heated over a medium heat, or you can do these on the grill, even better. And we're just gonna go ahead and cook these. So you can throw those in there, and I'll start with the shrimp. Just laying them out like so. I love the look of that lamb.
For folks, I know you did the lamb specifically for your love, but if people don't want to do lamb, what would you suggest?
A beef tenderloin medallion, maybe 1 per person instead of the 2. And now we're gonna cook these until your desired doneness. And of course, about 8-10 minutes for the lamb, maybe 4 minutes for the shrimp, but we've made some. You wanna just grab those, of course, ahead of time. I like to pile it high on a platter and serve it family style in the middle of the table.
That is a beautiful meal to have together. And you know what? It's a fancy meal, but it's a high protein meal. It's actually really quite good for you, what you have going on.
Give it a shot, give it a shot. I love to serve this with a little salad. What do you think?
Delicious.
Just like the day you fell in love with me.
This is mine, yes.
So thanks, Paul and Alex. The recipe on our website, that is cityline.tv.